If there is one practical thing that Democrats can do right now that would help them regain power, it's never speak to Trump in person. No, I'm kidding. That's stupid. No, it's this. Inspire your moderates to vote in the primaries. Get that base excited. You have the numbers. After Congressman Moulton made his comment about his daughter not getting run over, he added, "But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that." Well, then change what you're supposed to be afraid.
The DNC is in turmoil, and Maher isn't pulling any punches. You'd think a party with no leadership, no vision, and no clear message would get at least a little sympathy. But instead, he's lighting them up. The outspoken Real Time with Bill Maher host went straight after AOC and the Democrats for refusing to learn from their last brutal loss. And his criticism was absolutely blistering. Let's get into it.
People ask me all the time, why haven't you ever had Hillary or Bill Clinton on? Why didn't you have Kamala on during the last campaign? You think we don't ask? We ask these people every week. They say no. It took 8 years and a petition to get Obama on. And these are people, all people I voted for. Think about that. They're afraid to come on the show of a guy who voted for them.
Maher started by venting his frustration with the very party he's long supported, saying Democrats have ignored him despite his loyalty, influence, and platform. He's invited them on Real Time countless times, yet they never show up. Why? Because, he said, they can't handle real questions or defend shaky positions. Instead of open debate, they hide in echo chambers, proving his point that today's left has grown timid, defensive, and intellectually lazy. Then he asked the obvious next question: are Republicans any better?
Republicans? They show up. And when they do, they take their beating like a man. You went down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed his after that.
Oh, bullshit.
When the Mueller report came out, I feel like you mischaracterized it, and I feel that was shady. But you campaigned for election deniers in 2022. This I do not forgive. The Republicans, including you, January 6th, etc., are the ones who are no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. Amendment 22, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. And yet you keep talking about Trump's maybe you should have this. Here,
Of course, Republicans have had their share of comebacks, some sharp, others awkward, and a few have even hit Maher personally. But that isn't the point. The real takeaway is that win or lose, Republicans show up. They sit across from Maher, take the criticism, and stay in the debate, even when their arguments aren't perfectly polished. That willingness to step into the spotlight, to face hard questions without flinching, shows a kind of toughness and accountability that's increasingly rare. Unlike the Democrats, they don't hide in comfort zones. They confront the challenge head-on. And that alone speaks volumes.
I would love to have AOC on the show, and Mandami and Elizabeth Warren, but I can't subpoena the guests. And I can't fix that what the Democrats are scared of more than anything else, I mean, obviously besides gluten, is being primaried from the far left, even though most Democrats are not far left. They're mild-mannered and moderate, at least at my bathhouse.
It's no secret that the far left is driving the woke agenda. And what's worse, they've become louder and more dominant than the Democratic Party itself. Instead of standing firm on principle, the party keeps caving to every demand, no matter how extreme. The DNC has lost its backbone, trading leadership for appeasement. What's left is a hollow institution more focused on pleasing activists than representing everyday Americans. What the party needs now isn't another figurehead bowing to pressure, but a leader with the courage to stand up and push back against the far left's grip.
Most Democrats are not far left. They're mild-mannered and moderate, at least at my bathhouse. If there is one practical thing that Democrats can do right now that would help them regain power, it's never speak to Trump in person. No, I'm kidding. That's stupid. After Congressman Moulton made his comment about his daughter not getting run over, he added, "But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that." Well, then change what you're supposed to be.
Bill Maher couldn't be more right. In recent years, countless moderates within the Democratic Party have quietly drifted toward the center, or even to the right. These are lifelong Democrats who once believed in the party's vision, but now feel alienated by its surrender to far-left ideology. Many of them would gladly return if the DNC showed even a shred of courage to challenge the woke fringe. But instead of restoring balance, party leaders tiptoe around activists, paralyzed by fear of outrage or cancellation. Until the DNC breaks free from this ideological chokehold, moderates will keep their distance, and the party will remain trapped in a cycle of appeasement, weakness, and political stagnation.
I think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, like, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time. It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party
I think
nationally.
the Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrat socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get.
Bill Maher put it bluntly. If Democrats run Zoran Mandani in 2028, they're practically handing J.D. Vance the presidency. Maher argues that Mandani's brand of woke, socialist politics might excite Gen Z voters hungry for radical change, but the math just doesn't work. Older generations, millennials, Gen X, and especially boomers, still dominate the polls, and they're far less receptive to far-left rhetoric. Instead of expanding the base, Maher warns, a candidate like Mandani would alienate moderates and independents, guaranteeing a Republican win. In short, backing a hard-left figure isn't bold, it's political suicide.
You're engaging with a psycho who all they care about is controlling you. They're very good at diagnosing problems. Yeah. They're very good at figuring out what your weak points are. And that's, I would argue, what a lot of these people are doing.
That's right.
They recognize that if you can focus on these problems, then you can, use that dissatisfaction to gain power for your...
Older generations recognize the pattern. They've seen this movie before. Idealism wrapped in rebellion, marketed as justice, but ending in disillusionment. Mandani's pitch sounds noble on the surface. Equality, fairness, reform. But beneath the slogans lies an ideology that punishes success, discourages innovation, and hands more power to the very institutions people already distrust. It's not leadership. It's manipulation through moral theater. Instead of empowering individuals to build, he encourages them to resent. Instead of addressing flaws in capitalism, he paints the entire system as irredeemable. And that's where real progress dies, not in disagreement, but in the blind pursuit of purity over practicality.
It'd be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mandani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so...
Wait.
We need... Every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up.
Exactly. That's the heart of it. Socialism always arrives dressed as compassion, but leaves behind dependence and decay. The concern isn't just about one candidate. It's about an ideology that sells fairness, while quietly erasing freedom and merit. Mandani's rise exposes a dangerous temptation within the Democratic Party to trade realism for rhetoric. His movement thrives on moral theater, stirring empathy but ignoring economics. What the country needs isn't a revolution of feelings. It's leadership grounded in results, responsibility, and reason. If Democrats want to survive 2028 and beyond, they must reject Mandani's illusion before it turns into their undoing.
Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess. So, when the post-war Labour government in Britain was about to get started, one of their leading lights was a socialist named Nurian Bevan. He said, what could go wrong? He said, we have a nation bedded on coal, surrounded by fish. It would take an organizational genius to have a shortage of either. In 3 years, they had a shortage of both. That's social.
On paper, socialism sounds noble. A world of equality where no one is left behind. But in practice, it's always the opposite. Capitalism, though imperfect, rewards effort and innovation. Socialism punishes both, replacing opportunity with control. Behind its talk of fairness lies a system where power concentrates at the top, while ordinary people are left with less. The result is inequality. It's stagnation, resentment, and poverty disguised as progress. History makes it plain. Socialism doesn't free people, it traps them.
Tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it.
The left often stereotypes the right as ignorant or backward, dismissing their arguments without engagement. They see themselves as morally superior, enlightened, and compassionate. But that arrogance is their blind spot. By looking down on opponents, they underestimate real frustrations motivating millions of Americans. Frustrations no amount of smug self-congratulation can erase.
Define woman, I mean person who menstruates. You're the teachers' union education party and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person. You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to both.
The problem with the Democratic Party and the far left isn't just policy. It's arrogance, pandering, and ignoring history. Maher warns that elevating woke socialists like Mamani risks real damage, while moderates feel abandoned. Socialism sounds appealing in theory, but in practice, it concentrates power among elites and leaves ordinary people behind. Blinded by self-righteousness, the left dismisses conservatives as ignorant, repeating a fatal pattern. If Democrats keep yielding to the loudest activists instead of standing for reason and balance, they won't just lose voters, they'll lose their future. America needs leaders with courage, not timid figureheads.